Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. I'm Melissa Lewis. Sorry, I think I was muted there. I'm Melissa Lewis. I'm so excited to be your artist for today's service. I'm going to start off with a holiday song. It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. peaceful wings unfurl, and still their heavenly music flows o'er all the weary world. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. For lo, the days are hasting on, by prophets seen of old, when with the ever circling years shall come the time unfold, when peace shall over all the earth its ancient splendors flee, and the world send back its song, which now the angels sing. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing.
Merry Christmas
Ah, you as well.
and early Happy Hanukkah
Absolutely.
and Happy Winter Solstice.
You're getting them all.
Oh, I do, baby, I do. It's that time of year,
I know it. It's a
right?
beautiful song.
It is. Hello, Melissa Lewis.
Oh, Reverend Keith Cox, my love.
It has been way too long. Way too long.
Way too
I've,
long.
I've missed you, and I'm also so very proud of you because I know you're doing musical director at a center here in Southern California.
And it is so much fun. So much.
Good.
I'm
I'm so
loving it.
happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that and so proud of you
Thank you.
for this. Yes. And so I know as we come together today, it's just such an honor and a pleasure and perfect and divine perfection unfolding that you're our musical artist today. This Sunday, as we move into this great week of transformation, right?
Right. Yeah,
Right, and I know you've had quite the week with your girls at home,
I
at
have
home, with
lots.
you on your knees as you're cleaning the toilet because they've been sick with the flu, praying for a miracle, like screaming, baby Jesus, get well!" Right?
Good. It hasn't gotten me, so I'm hanging in there.
Good.
It's good.
Well, as we were speaking of earlier, I'm gonna continue to affirm for you that it doesn't get you in that
Thank you.
sense,
Thank
and
you.
that you continue to radiate peace and health and happiness and joy.
Thank you. I will try my best.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. All right,
Awesome.
my love. Well, I look
Okay.
forward to you sharing such great holiday music for us throughout the
Absolutely.
day
My
today,
pleasure. Thank you.
and um, and other stuff as well. So,
Awesome. See you
all
soon.
right. Well, see you in a bit, my love. See you in a bit. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. It is Sunday, December 22nd, and it is a big day around the world if you're in a spiritual based world, as it is the Sunday before the kickoff of the big holidays that exist in the world. We do have somewhat of a holiday service planned for you today, although we did our big holiday service on December 8th in person. But I want you to know that just where you are today, we honor you in all of your magnificence and all of your glory and the individualization of the only thing that there is, which is the light of life itself. And so welcome here. as a community, just know that right where you are, the divine is in all of its magnificence and all its glory. And so, welcome to our virtual service. We come together all but one Sunday a month virtually so that we can feel community, be community, remember what it's like to be together and to be inspired. And my objective and goal here as the spiritual leader this morning is to do just that, to inspire you to the best of my ability so that we all are prepared to be the light that is the light of the divine. And so welcome, welcome, and welcome, whether you may be joining us via Zoom or through YouTube Live or at a later date through our social media sites and or our app, wherever you find us. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to open ourselves with our morning slides. So let's go. And so as I said, we are the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. Our vision statement is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. And it's my goal and objective, as I said earlier today, to help facilitate for you that spiritual awakening, and that if you are celebrating the traditional Christmas, that ho, 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 we all have a good time and be a bit more lighthearted than ever before, and take a moment to acknowledge the light of life that exists within all. I love this little emoji of Santa because as he's rubbing his belly, it's almost as if he's putting his hand on his heart and engaging in that great Sanskrit activity of namaste, which means I bow to thee in its original context, and in its modern incarnation, which we say all the time, is the God in me honors and acknowledges the God in you. God in this sense, by means of our philosophy, faith, and way of life, known as the science of mind, is the infinite, omniscient, omnipresent energy that is the source of all creation, and that it expresses itself in all of its magnificence by means of you and by means of me. As mental beings, we both experience it and express it through our thoughts and our beliefs and our actions and our reactions in life. And because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law, that which we are and that in which we act returns to us in form. And so one of the things that drew me in this teaching from the very beginning is the very simple statement, and yet oh so complex to engage in life, is change your thinking, change your life. Today I invite us all to take a deep breath in and exhale and feel the joy of the emoji there on the screen of ho, 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 Merry Christmas from the beach in Southern California. Let's take another deep breath in, feeling the power and the presence of the only thing there is. And as we exhale, bend forward and say together, Namaste. Namaste. And so as stated earlier, the vision statement for our community is honoring individuals on their journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. We repeat that and repeat it every time we come together because we are all on a journey of spiritual awakenings and becoming more and more personally self-empowered. And today I invite all of us to invite in for ourselves a newfound way for that to happen. As a community, we welcome all races, all religions, all countries of origins, all sexual orientations, all genders, all abilities. We stand with you, wanting you to know that just as you are, which is in all of the magnificence of the divine, that you are safe here with us. Albeit in a virtual sense, we can feel energy being transmitted and transmuted, and it's done as we use the power of our words together to say quite verbose and out loud where we are this great statement. We welcome one, and we welcome all. We open our services every Sunday morning, and including this morning, with a ritual called Calling in the Light. Calling in the Light is an expanded version of the original component of this ritual, which is called Lighting the Flames of Faith. I've been using it in my ministry for 22 years now, maybe more. And it's being used in centers for spiritual living and types of practices such as this around the world and has been for years. Today I find it to be quite appropriate and poignant and appropriate. I think I said appropriate twice then. For us to do that today in the context of lighting the flames of faith. We'll sing the song Calling in the Light at the end of this. But certainly at this time where many different religions of the world are celebrating the miracle of life itself in whatever capacity or form or format that it is in, we all can understand and acknowledge that diversity of life that we just honored when we made the statement, we welcome one and we welcome all. Going deeper into that acknowledgement and welcoming and honoring is what we do with the ritual lighting the flames of faith. And so as we look at the miracle of light transforming on the screen, let's remember, or hear for the first time maybe, my acronym for LIGHT. Living in God's healing truth. I invite you today to be open to what that means to you in a new way, whether it's the word God or living or healing or even truth. It's by opening up to that and either allowing the power itself to reveal through us a new sense of truth that we become personally self-empowered. And so we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. I invite you to look at the one candle in the center of the screen, and let's believe together that we have lit that candle. And in the illumination of that candle, we use it to light all other candles. Remembering that as I light my candle and share it with you and you light your candle, it doesn't dissolve or diminish, it magnifies. And let's let this be an example of how we move into this ritual today. And so we light this candle for the Tao, honoring the path of harmony and equilibrium, that which is known as the natural way. And we light it for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. And we light it for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. And for Judaism, it's been the holy days of Judaism, and this week kicks off Hanukkah. And so we light this candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law, as well as for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. I spoke of these Four Noble Truths 2 weeks ago. As well as for all forms of Christianity, and in so doing, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. And for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and of peace. And for all forms of new thought, that which we practice here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. You can see all the different forms of that on the screen. And in so doing, we light this candle for the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And then we bring all these together, looking at the candle on the screen, and we declare it the healing candle. We'd like to put into the light, silently or audibly, the names of anyone that you would like to have experienced the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. Specifically, I'd like to bring into the light one of our congregants and community members that passed away this week, Gwen Smalley, also known as Gwen Van Dam, and all that love her and her family. We can bring her, if you knew Gwen, her face into our mind's eye and that energy of love and light that she is. And know that wherever she may be on her journey, that we say thank you for having blessed us on ours, and to know that her light continues to shine brightly, making a difference. We hear this prayer from Mahatma Gandhi and invite all in our lives to know that this is what we affirm for them together as we are one family. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source, and I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and for peace. Returning to the candle, we see all the different candles that have now illuminated and are flickering and lighting the pathway for each of us on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Let each one of those represent you and me and Gwen and all of humanity, and at least one or more of each person that practices one of the flames of faith that we acknowledged earlier. Melissa's going to come on and take us through the song Calling in the Light. I invite you to hear it or sing it or both, and just be deeply appreciative that we each have the opportunity to live in God's healing truth.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. I am peace, I am peace, I am love, I am love in my heart, in my heart. I am free, I am free, I am spirit, I am spirit, I am soul, I am soul. All together, we are whole, we are whole. I am calling in the light, I am calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Yes, I am calling in the light, I'm calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Yes, I'm calling in the light of love. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it
There's that voice.
is. Thank you.
Oh, there's that
Thank you.
voice. Never stop singing, sister. Keep
Oh,
shining your light.
I don't think I could if I wanted to.
Yeah. Good, good. Isn't that song beautiful, Calling in the Light?
I love that song so much. The first time I ever heard that this song was at not your service, but the service when Reverend John was.
Right.
I had never heard it, and I
Because
was like,
Bunny Hall wrote it. It might have
yes,
been with
I
John
was.
Gilliton, but Bunny Hall, right?
Yes,
One of the many contributions to life that Bunny Hall has given us.
yeah, she's wonderful. Yeah, I was blown
She
away when I
is.
heard it. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So, yeah. And what's I keep saying that, and I would like to maybe Travis can produce this. Like he needs one more thing to do, but produce. Maybe Bunny could produce it. Produce a compilation recordings of all the artists that sing it.
Oh
I just
wow,
think it would be so fabulous to hear it in so many different
different ways,
incarnations.
right? Yeah, right. That would
Because
be cool.
we have the great blessing to get to hear that on Sunday mornings. You guys don't, right? Like
Yeah, right.
you do your version and then off you go. There's as many can tell you, so many, the various ways of doing it. It's
Oh,
just
I'm
so
sure, right? Because everybody brings
interesting.
their own twist to it,
Oh
right? Yeah,
yeah,
I bet you hear it
yeah.
so many different ways. That would be
Oh,
cool.
it's just so lovely. And then
Yeah,
even many of them do it in different ways. So it's just
right,
incredible. Good.
right.
All right,
Well,
my love. So no, don't disappear yet. You're next. So I know you're going to do one more
guess what?
holiday song,
I
right?
forgot. That's right.
Which one are you doing?
My all time favorite. When you said pick what you want, I was like, oh, I know what I'm
Oh, good.
doing.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
All right. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round young virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing Alleluia. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round young virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Mm. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Yes.
I think of that for our beloved Gwen right now.
Hmm.
Sleep in heavenly peace. You can tell you love that song.
I love it. It's always been a favorite. Always.
Yeah,
Since I was a little kid.
my God. Well, thank you, thank you. You do it such
Absolutely.
justice.
Thank you so much.
Yes. All right. See you in a bit, my love. Christmas is here, right? As is Hanukkah and solstice and Diwali and Kwanzaa will all be here before we know it. And I want to start with a poem called Amazing Peace, a Christmas poem from the great Dr. Maya Angelou. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes, and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Floodwaters await us in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow to avalanche over unprotected villages. The sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves, what have we done to so affront nature? We worry God. Are you there? Are you there really? Does the covenant you made with us still hold? Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters, streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor, come the way of friendship. It's the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence, and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first, it's too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It's loud now. It's louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It's what we have hungered for. Not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslim, say, come, peace. Come and fill us and our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It's Christmas time, a halting of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate to ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Into the great religions of the world, we jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues at the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at each other and then to ourselves. Peace. And we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul. Peace. Purposeful energy activates conscious evolution. Peace being referenced to as an activity, as a desire, as an experience. And in our philosophy, faith, and way of life, it's transcendent of all of those while being inclusive of them as well. In our teaching, peace is one of the qualities of the divine that you and I are imbued with, along with love and light and power and beauty and wisdom and joy. Our theme for this month has been joy is happening through me. Joy, just like peace, is a state of inner knowing and an awareness and a release, which I just did of my phone onto the floor, of that which is deeply within us, waiting to be called forth and expressed. In our teaching, we know that the only way for that to happen is by allowing ourselves to consciously be the avenue and the conduit by which it does its thing. It's always there. The great Dr. David Hawkins, in his book Along the Path to Enlightenment, addresses these qualities and specifically joy. We can insert peace just as easily. This is what he says. The source of joy is always present, always available, and not dependent on circumstances. I'm going to read that back to us, inserting peace as referencing that which the great Maya Angelou just wrote about. The source of peace is always present, always available, and not dependent on circumstances. And here's where it gets fun. Dr. Hawkins says there's only two obstacles. One, the ignorance that it's always available and present. And two, valuing something other than peace and joy above that peace and joy because of the secret pleasure or the payoff. Makes me think of the pleasure that many of us all get in life, of the payoff of something other than peace and joy in our life, whether we're aware that that is intentional or whether it is or isn't intentional. This time of year is a reminder, just as the great Christmas carol song, hymn that Melissa sang to us, Silent Night, the heavenly call to silent night. It's certainly referencing us getting silent so that we may experience the arrival of the baby of Jesus in literal form relative to the story. But if we look at it as the allegory that it is, and the metaphysical terms and the metaphorical terms, what it's telling us is that when we go within into this time of darkness, the lack of peace or joy, or even just a time of readying for there to be more peace and joy in our lives, it's that inward journey of moving into the darkness, not necessarily darkness as in war, but darkness as to that place where creation takes place, and then opening up to the miracle of light, just as it took place in Hanukkah and the light of Jesus being born on this planet. This time, Christmas, this magical time of year, which is honored worldwide, is upon us. And you and I get to decide with this Christmas in the year 2024, as per the Gregorian calendar, what it means to us and what do we mean to it. This holiday, from a metaphysical or new thought perspective, is based on the miracle of life and the miracle of light. And in so doing, it's giving us the opportunity to choose to let our light illuminate our pathway. In other words, to find the Christ within, to give birth to the baby Jesus that's inside of us, which is cute and funny, and yet I want us to understand what the meaning of that is. Of that within each and every one of us, we have that light that the story represents. And hearken back, if you will, in mind to years ago when these holidays, these demarcations of the miracle of life has taken place. We just experienced in the Northern Hemisphere last night, the winter solstice, which is when it was the darkest day of the year. And then the light begins to emerge again sooner than the day before. What does that mean to us? And Kwanzaa will be celebrated, which is a week-long celebration honoring heritage of many who's had many dark days in life. Hanukkah, the miracle of light, of the oil of transformation and faith. The Diwali festival, which is really all about understanding the festival of lights. All of these events in life have meaning. And their meaning as to what you and I assign to it and open ourselves up to have revealed through us. In traditional Christianity, which is the most dominant on our planet relative to these holidays, it's the birth of Jesus and his subsequent life and death which portrayed him as the exception in life. One of the things that I tuned into this teaching, Philosophy, Faith, and Way of Life, when I came here 42 years ago, was that we were taught that Jesus is the example, not the exception. The exception that he was portrayed as means that the nature of his birth and the miracles he manifested in his travels through life and his ultimate resurrection from the dead were all possible because he was deemed the Son of God. But in modern day understanding of these stories, I want us all to remember, and as shared in the Bible, that all of what transpired in Jesus' life was an example of what is possible for each of us. Yes, I know so many of us want to turn water into wine and consider that the ultimate example of the power within us. But to hell with that. Go buy your wine at Trader Joe's and use your power in another way of attracting and manifesting and demonstrating in life a life that is not only imbued with but filled and an example of being peace and power and beauty and joy and light and life and love and wisdom. And to remember that when we forget that's who we are, to forgive ourselves and to start anew, to have a new birth within us as the Jesus, the baby Jesus that's within us, to be that miracle of light that exists by means of the nature of creation, the pureness of life and the ability that we each have to manifest miracles. And it lies within each and every one of us equally. No one has more, no one has less. We just simply have it. And it may appear in our opinion that some have more abundant lives than others, but that's all simply an opinion. And it's also looking to validate through what we determine as a value, the power itself. But all that matters is, what are you doing with the power in your life? As the same with me, and then how do we share it and shine our light? The great Dr. Ernest Holmes, and he was great, albeit not boastful in his life, quite humble, and the founder of the teaching of Science of Mind, wrote this: "It would be a great mistake to suppose that Jesus was different from other men," meaning humanity. "He was a man who knew himself and his direct relationship with the whole." That's what was being called for here, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between and beyond. That you and I begin to nurture our relationship with the whole in a new way, and to let this holiday and this holiday season be a time that compels us to believe in ourselves specifically, and to believe that what is true about the universal creative power of God, which was exemplified through and as the life of Jesus, is also true about you and about me. Hear that anew today. I'm flashing back to my first teacher, the great Dr. Kennedy Schultz at the Atlanta Church of Religious Science. And let's just say it was 40 years ago. It was 42 when I would sit there and watch him put his finger on the podium and wag it at all of us, the congregants, and say something to the effect of this: "The universal creative power of God, which was exemplified through and as the life of Jesus, is true about you and it's true about me." And those words by which he would say them, which are truth, it's a spiritual truth, would resonate in my soul in a way that I knew I needed to listen to this and believe it. Today, I'm inviting you to use your power of choice to awaken to the spiritual truth in a new way and make the choice and the commitment and the intention to purposefully express it. through our actions, our reactions, and interactions with all of life. And as we do so, know that we're not only just expressing our spiritual magnificence, but we're tapping into our Christ-like nature. Give yourself the gift to share your Christ-like nature. It doesn't have to be boastful. It doesn't have to be announced. Just find a way to give. It's through the act of giving that you engage this Christ-like nature and continue to propagate the good that exists within you and within me, because it's inherent within us, because it's universal. This Christmas and this Hanukkah and this Diwali and honoring the winter solstice and Kwanzaa and whatever time of year or day that's rolling upon us, Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, let's all take a moment to acknowledge the gifts that have been given to us that include and start with peace and choice and power and wisdom and light and life and love. And as we each consciously allow ourselves to embody and feel these gifts, these blessings, and then deliberately share them with the world, we're making every day Christmas. And so this Christmas, let's all begin to celebrate you in a new way, in a more expansive way. Let's all choose to like ourselves more, to love ourselves more freely, to respect ourselves more frequently, to forgive ourselves more readily, and to appreciate ourselves more than ever before, because let's declare that today, on December 22nd in the year 2024, we've become awakened on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through the very awakening that we've invited in. Awakening is a synonym, as there are so many synonyms in our teaching, for the word enlightenment. Enlightenment is considered on the map of consciousness to be the ultimate destination, if you will, on the journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Over the last few weeks, I've been doing some personal study in our teaching in a new way, unlike I've ever done before. And one of the nuggets of wisdom that I've walked away with is to realize that enlightenment is not a destination, if you will, albeit we can look at it through that lens as meaning one that's finite and we arrive there and stay there. But it's a moment by moment by moment experience of the divine that is within us. It's an alignment and a realignment, a retuning, a tapping into the source that is peace, power, beauty, joy, life, love, and wisdom. And knowing that it's there, but not knowing it intellectually, but feeling it experientially. Allowing it to be a resonance field in our being, and then allowing ourselves to consciously radiate it out from us. And that shows up through our actions and our reactions and our interactions with not only the thing itself, but the thing itself as expressed as you and as me, and how we honor that, in other words. The word enlightenment or awakening conjures up the idea of some superhuman accomplishment, and the ego likes to keep it that way. But it's simply our natural state of our felt oneness with the beingness of the divine. Let's remember this, that power, the divine, the being itself, has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. Thank you, Ernest Holmes, one of my favorite quotes of all time is by Ernie. Awakenings or enlightenments, that which we are inviting in, is the state of consciousness with something that is immeasurable and indestructible, something that almost paradoxically is essentially you and me, and yet it is so much greater than who we are. It's that act of finding our true nature beyond name and form. It's the inability to feel this connectiveness occasionally that we have that then gives rise to the illusion of separation from ourselves and the world around us. But all that is required of us is to move into that state, that mental state, that tuning into a silent night, a holy night. We're not speaking of night as after the sun has gone down, but night of that darkness within us where we can close our eyes and peer into the optical screen that we have on the back of our eyelids, and imagine, much like the slide that we saw earlier with the twinkling lights, to look in there and let those twinkling lights on the back of our eyelids show up and remind us of the light that is within, which is the power of God itself. And in those moments, you and I can begin to perceive ourselves, either consciously or unconsciously, not as an isolated fragment, but as one with all there is. That's when we have that moment of enlightenment. Get it? Enlightenment. Where we see and feel and know the light that is there. And the Buddha tells us that enlightenment, awakening, is the end of suffering, even if it's just for that moment. And so today I invite you to open your senses to know that there are a variety of ways to become more enlightened in life. One is to accept that there's no escape from yourself. The mind is always there, and to continue to tune in, to fine-tune, to retune, to attune to the power of the divine that is there, expressing itself as you. To find your true identity as a spiritual being, and then to find it, and to find it, and to find it. To intentionally, consciously reduce our attachment to the material things in life. Now, no one's saying become a monk and live a monastic life free from physical stuff. But it is important on the journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening to create a new awareness of attachment to stuff. And to remember that all this stuff in the material world, which is simply just energy vibrating at a different frequency, is all a result of life itself. And so continue to turn inwards and tune in to the life itself, and then the attachment will shift. The fourth way is to then be the love that you're seeking, and then stop resisting the awakenings. And then through there, create the life you desire. Not necessarily one in form, but to remember the life that we each desire is to know and know that we know that the Christ is within. And when we least think that that's true is the moment when we're to know it the most. I want to share a story with you. I think it exemplifies the willingness to know and know that you know. Many of you may have heard it before. A beggar, I don't know why my nose keeps itching. Maybe it's telling me there's some delights in here and I need to tune into it. Sorry. A beggar had been sitting by the side of a road for over 30 years. One day a stranger walked by. "Spare some change," mumbled the beggar, mechanically holding out his baseball cap. "I have nothing to give you," said the stranger. Then he asked, "What are you sitting on?" "Nothing," replied the beggar. "Just an old box. I've been sitting on it for as long as I can remember." "Ever look inside?" asked the stranger. "No," said the beggar. "What's the point?" "There's nothing in there." "Have a look inside," insisted the stranger. The beggar managed to pry open the lid. With astonishment, disbelief, and elation, he saw that the box was filled with gold. 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 Gold is, in our teaching, a synonym for good. It's where we find the enlightenment. In this parable, we aren't being told to go looking for physical boxes of gold in life, but to remember that this box is a metaphor for the greatest place ever to look, which is within. It's right there with us all the time. And so may today be the day that for those who may not have found their true wealth or forgotten that is there, to remember that it's the radiance of the joy of being and this deep, unshakable peace that exists, that comes with it. It's all there. It's all there for you and for me to open up and to realize and acknowledge is there. and then to give it and to share it. And so today I invite all of us to remember on this Christmas celebration to begin to celebrate you and the goal that is within you, and to do it in a more expansive way, and to let there be peace and joy and power and beauty and love and light and life and wisdom be more on this earth. And let it begin with you, as I'm making the decision to let it begin with me. Happy holidays. And so it is. Thank you. Melissa's going to come back on and share more music for us.
Absolutely. That was fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Keith.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Mm. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with those kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is the most wonderful time of the year.
I love it.
It is, because it shakes it up. It's not like this the other 11 months and 2 weeks out of the year. So,
Right? And
yes.
what I love is the like New Year's is just right, and it's like a whole reset. I love it. I
Yeah.
love the chance
I
to,
like the lights and the fun and the difference.
right? People will just, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do something
And then
about it.
the time to sit back and watch movies and cuddle and all of
I
that.
know, right? And 2 weeks off of school.
Yeah. 3 weeks for you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm sharing that, everyone, because Melissa's had her twins home all week sick. So now they're going to be off school for the week being sick and then the 2 weeks coming
I'm
back.
hoping they're so close to being over it. I'm like,
They
oh,
are. We're affirming that they're over it. We are.
they're
We are.
done. Today's the last of it.
It is. It is. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely.
It's
My pleasure.
always so good to reconnect and to
It's
see
always
you.
a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, so very much. And I'm sending well wishes for your afternoon holiday service.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a big one.
Well, it'll be good. It's
I can't
you're
wait.
ready.
I'm looking forward to it.
You're ready. You're ready. You're ready. So good. Good. All right, my love.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here today. Please know that just you are celebrated in ways that words cannot describe. And so I send you love and joy, and affirm that all that was spoken of earlier by means of me, revealed through me as the divine, your spiritual leader, that it's taking root, and that something new in your awareness field is emerging. And that brings peace and it brings joy, and then you're consciously ready and willing to share it. So thank you, and I affirm all your holidays are fabulous. I just want to let you know that our office will be closed this week, and as we're taking time off, and there will be no meditation this week on Wednesday, and there won't be one the next week on Wednesday, but we're going to do it on the Thursday, the 2nd. So please make plans accordingly. There is a newsletter that will go out tomorrow, and that'll remind you of all of that. We will continue sending out new thought texts for the day, and if there's anything anyone needs, please feel free to reach out. We are available to you, and we want to honor and acknowledge everyone on their journey. Want to say a big thank you to Robert Hensley, our administrative assistant and social media dude, and to Travis Smith today, and to all that participate in making this accessible and available for you. And so may this week be one where you are immersed in love. I want to thank you all for your conscious contributions of giving to our community, and we'd like to invite you to include us in your holiday giving. You can do that by going to our website, csl-la.org, and click on donate, or you can use the app in the App Store and go there, and there's also the means to do that, or you can mail in a check. Our address is 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, and that all is on our website, and we'll know that it's good. Peace and blessings to everyone. We're going to close out. I think I've included everything. If I haven't, send me a message. If you're on Zoom, we'll stay honest, have a brief hello afterwards, and then if you're on YouTube, know that we just affirm health and peace and prosperity and abundance for you wherever you may be. And I think that's it. I'm going to close out with a spiritual mind treatment, and then Melissa's going to, you can stay on, Melissa, and then Melissa's going to take us out with the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me. And so let's all just know and accept and affirm that peace exists by means of each one of us. And we accept it as purposeful energy, which is activating conscious evolution by means of each of us. And that means that we shine our light in any way. And we remember that we are the divine incarnated, and that we appreciate the life of the story, or the story of the life of Jesus, as an example, letting it be just that for us. And so today is the day that we open ourselves to a miracle. I know it sounds like I'm throwing religious salad at you, but I'm not. I'm just giving us touchstones to remember. In A Course in Miracles, a miracle is defined as a new perspective. So today we all invite that in, letting go of what it means, the new perspective, but being willing and ready to experience it and then express it. In this season of joy, we align ourselves with joy. Acronym for joy, just open yourself. We open ourselves today to the miracle in a new way. We let the light of God, living in God's healing truth, shine forth through us in ways that may or may not be comforting, but we do know that it is evolutionary. And so we trust. That the metaphor of light is always here and returning. That we do give peace a chance. And we let it begin with us. Peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul. And so it is. Please feel free to sing along to the song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Melissa will guide you through it.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we.
Thank you all for being here today. May you have a fabulous holiday and know that just where you are, God is.
Hmm.
Happy holidays.
Holidays.
All right.